Hello, hello, and welcome to the Cinema Slice. My name is Tony,
And I'm Chris.
and today we're talking some movies, and eating a little pizza. We got ours from our old friend Maverick.
That's right.
Not Tom Cruise,
Not the gambler.
not that Maverick either.
That's right. That's right.
And let's see. Today, I mean, it's October. It's the fall. It's almost Halloween. We decided we're going to talk, horror movies. And though we've talked in the previous weeks about different characters and our favorite franchises and stuff, Chris, you came up with an interesting twist of what we could talk about this week. What do you think?
Look, everybody knows, right? When you think of Halloween, of course, you think of the traditional Halloween horror movie characters, and right, it's Freddy, it's Jason, whoever you want to pick, right? Because it's Halloween. It's supposed to be fun to get scared. That's why you watch the horror movies or the slashers or whatever. It's also black cats and goblins and ghouls, more scary things. My opinion, though, Halloween's also fun because it doesn't have to be blood, guts, and horror. It can also be fun. So I thought, why don't we talk about some kid-friendly topics, right? Like, what's your favorite kid-friendly or kid-themed Halloween movie? We all, again, Tony, you and I are the millennial generation. And so, we grew up with, early Nickelodeon, Disney, all that kind of stuff that made it a lot of fun. And of course, right, Fox back then was pumping out a lot of great stuff too. So I thought, why not have some fun and not bring down the gore or violence level per se, but bring down the scariness, because sometimes like Mickey, Mickey's not so scary Halloween.
Yeah.
It does pretty well for Disney.
Yeah, instead of scary per se, they increase spooky.
Bingo. I like that twist.
It's spooky is what we're talking about in spooky movies. And just to kind of list off some honorable mentions before we name our favorites, I went around the newsroom and everything and asked, what's your favorite?
Oh, look at you doing a little behind the scenes detective work.
Well, what can I say? Investigative journalist Tony Wynn here, doing his due diligence by finding out the truth for you, the people out there. All right, and some people gave me some repeat answers and
Okay.
some variety. And so just to name off a few, there's films like Hocus Pocus,
Naturally.
Casper,
Yep.
Gremlins,
Oh, of course.
Coraline, Monster House,
Okay.
Paranorman, sorry, Frankenweenie, The Nightmare Before Christmas,
Yep.
Goosebumps,
Of course.
Hotel Transylvania,
Okay.
The Addams Family,
Gotta.
Ernest Scared Stupid, Scooby Doo on Zombie Island,
What a great movie.
and my pick. You can't say his name too many times, otherwise, it spells bad news for you, your family, your friends, your home. Because when you say his name 3 times, it's showtime.
That's right, baby. Michael Keaton and Beetlejuice. Great pick, by the way. Great pick.
Thank you so much. Yes. Interesting fact. It's because of this movie and his portrayal, Michael Keaton's portrayal, of being able to play such a strange character that's very, very dark. That is the reason why Tim Burton decided to continue his work with Michael Keaton to become Batman.
Really?
Yeah,
This movie made him say, let's put you in the bat costume and you got to fight Danny DeVito?
Yes, that's exactly the case.
Okay.
There's
Did not know
just
that.
something about his, the darkness of Beetlejuice's character that he was like, yeah, there's a dark side to Michael Keaton, and that's what I need in my Batman. So that is obviously Tim Burton's favorite Batman. So we have a different opinion, and that's a different episode, or an episode we already did about our favorite Batmans. Check out the episode on ozarksfirst.com. That being said, I'm trying not to say his name too many times here, but this film, I think it's just absolutely fantastic.
Great cast.
I mean, you have Alec Baldwin, Gina Davis, obviously Michael Keaton, Winona Ryder. and Catherine O'Hara. And such a memorable, like each person is very, very memorable in their own way. Even though Gina Davis and Alec Baldwin kind of, they're the victims in this,
Yes.
and their characters are pretty generic. I mean, you can't help but feel bad for them for the predicament that they're in. They lose their home. They are they're not fans of the people who are in their homes, so they're new ghosts, and they don't know how to ghost.
Yeah, they don't know how to ghost.
And so they unfortunately go to the wrong guy, the ghost with the most, and it kind of backfires on them. And then, but luckily they find a friend in the teenager there that is Winona Ryder, who has a darkened soul. She's such a tragic character, that they're like, no, yeah, come on, you're a kid. There's more to life than the things that you're thinking about, and you just gotta find yourself. So I really like the story of this film. It definitely fits the spookiness of it all, obviously, because it's all about ghosts and the afterlife. And I remember always being afraid to watch whenever Michael Keaton turns into the snake.
Yep.
Right? Like that scene is like, ooh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so sidebar, because
Yeah.
obviously we know the movie. How'd you feel about the 1990s Beetlejuice cartoon?
I really liked the continuation of the story and
Yeah.
the world building of it all. I think it's pretty underrated. One of those cartoons that like people forget that, like,
100%.
there was a cartoon. I mean, it doesn't make sense in comparison, like, of what happens in the movie, and then suddenly Lydia and Beetlejuice are best friends,
Yeah.
and they're on adventures with each other. But
It's like, hey, you know what? We'll run with it. Why not?
yeah, right. So, it's a fun cartoon, and obviously the sequel just came out a year or two ago, and
Did not see that. Did you?
I did see it in
Okay.
hopes that it would
They
hold
didn't
up.
ruin the first one.
I mean, you can't ruin the first one, but it's one of those where like, we probably didn't need a second one, as the second one it didn't have the same feel. I think the story was told, and the continuation of it, though fun seeing familiar faces, not quite my cup of tea, and I would not put it in one of the best kid horror films.
Also, I think you and I agree on this. It is very rare, right? Top Gun 2 Maverick was able to pull this off, but it is very rare where you can take more than 5 years in between the original and a sequel, or a sequel and the next one, whatever you want to call it. Like it is so hard, right, to recapture the magic of the first movie that you do like this,
Yeah.
and then add a second one. Let alone you let how many decades go by since this movie was made, and then
Right.
the sequel came out.
Yeah.
It's just, again, right, everybody's older, right? The times are different. The vibe, the energy, everything is different, right? When you go that far forward in the future from what this was in the 80s.
Yeah.
And so I mean, again, I didn't see it, and I thought to myself, I don't need to see it, because unless somebody like Top Gun 2, where everybody was like, you've got to see this, I didn't think I was missing much. So I feel like you kind of confirmed that theory.
Yeah, I mean, the issue is that, most of the successful years later sequels end up just being a rehash of the original. And honestly, Top Gun Maverick is very much the same movie. But, that's what we love about that first one. And if you could toe that line of just, it's nostalgic enough but fresh enough, enough for us to see our beloved character grow, or overcome this and that, or whatever the case, the unanswered questions that you had in the original films and stuff like that. That's where a proper sequel can succeed, and there's not a whole lot that can do that.
Yeah, it's so hard.
I mean, I think of like Jurassic World, right? That when that first came out, I mean, it's literally Jurassic Park. It's the same exact concept,
Okay.
Right? But for me, it just felt like, again, they're just rehashing the same, the original again, but the original does it better. When you think about Star Wars and the newest sequels, the very first one, Force Awakens is literally a New Hope again. I mean, there's a Death Star. There's
Listen,
you know,
we
like,
listen. All right, again, I think you and I both agree on this, and this is just a quick sidebar.
yeah,
The original Star Wars, they're the best. The prequels that came out when you and I were still in middle school, high school, in the early 2000s, those got a lot of flack because of the way Anakin's character. And I've always said this. I thought the way Anakin's character and the development of his character and teenage angst and rise to a Sith, I thought he was too emotional and too bratty, and that really turned me off from seeing the pod racer, a cool kid. That's what really turned me off. And so I
Yeah.
think between that and Jar Jar Binks, a lot of people got turned off from that.
Right.
But in retrospect now, you're like, wow, these newer Star Wars really suck out loud. So these were great. These prequels were awesome, actually. Thank God.
yes, it is definitely an example of just not appreciated at the time.
Yeah, 100%.
But
Okay, by the way, honorable mention, I thought about this. Honorable mention, Halloween themed movie that definitely is kid approved because I watched this a ton when I was a kid and my parents were not big on letting me watch anything bad rated or in that genre. One of my all time favorites, and it came out in 1974. So 51 years ago, it came out this year. Young Frankenstein.
oh yeah, absolutely. I didn't even think of that.
Yes, Young Frankenstein is one of my all time favorite Mel Brooks movies, if not my favorite, because that dude was funny. And again, Halloween theme, that certainly was in my consideration.
Okay, so if not Young Frankenstein, then what is your choice for your favorite kids horror film?
Okay, so this really isn't a horror film per se. It's just definitely a Halloween theme.
Yeah.
But this came out in the late 80s, maybe early 90s. But I used to watch it all the time. Me and my sister did growing up. And it's a Nickelodeon produced half-hour movie from their half-hour special. And it was called The Witch Who Turned Pink.
Okay.
Okay, again, right? Kind of goofy, but okay. So the funny part about this movie, in the beginning, you meet the narrator of the movie. It's Wisey Owl, right? Who's this great sage, right? This great soothsayer, and he kind of brags about himself. You learn that, right, as Halloween draws closer. There are all these witches all across the land, right, in this spooky area. And of course, they're casting their spells and getting their brews and their potions just right. Well, they're all green. That's why the movie, The Witch Who Turned Pink. All the witches are green, including the main character there on the screen, Witch Jennifer. Well, somehow, some way, as Witch Jennifer, who had literally the greenest garden of all, right? It's the envy of all the witches. She had the most powerful substances. Well, somehow, some way, this band, this seedy cohort, if you will call them, of 4 pumpkins come along, right? And these pumpkins, what I love about it is that eventually they sing, right? They talk about how they don't like anything green. It's this revolting color, right? It's a great, funny little New York accent thing. Well, they sing this song about how they don't like anything green.
Okay.
And at the end of the song, somehow, some way, by them singing this song, she wakes up and she's pink. And so the rest of the movie, she is trying to cast all these spells. The witches, her friends, the witch doctor. I mean, he's hijinks crazy. He's like he was like the cartoon version of Kramer before Kramer became a thing. Okay.
Okay.
And so the whole rest of the movie, they're trying to figure out how do we get Witch Jennifer to turn green again? What do we do? No spell is working. No magical incantation or potion. Nothing's working. And then the owl says, "Oh, that's easy." They're like, "Okay, what makes you so smart?" He goes, "You got to fly over the moon." They're like, "The moon?" "Yes, the moon. The moon is made of green cheese. And the only way to turn back on Halloween night is if a witch rides over the moon on Halloween night." And sure enough, loop-de-loop-de-loop, boom, I'm green again.
Wow.
It is, again, I know, staggering Hall of Fame stuff, okay? But again, trust me, like, again, growing up, this was me and my sister's favorite movie because, again, that little quartet of pumpkins, their song, they sing in a quartet, so it's kind of a cappella. But great song, fun little tune, a little rap in there as well. It's just a cute cartoon that makes you kind of laugh out loud from all the ridiculous hijinks that these witches and Witch Jennifer go through to try to turn green again. And so, yeah, so anytime someone's like, "Oh, look at the moon," I'm like, "You know the moon's made of green cheese, right?" And as soon as I say that, they're like, "What?" And I'm like, it's like, am I the only person who watched this special on VHS every single holiday? Must be.
Please tell me if you guys at home
Does
are
anybody
familiar.
know about The Witch Who Turned Pink? It's on YouTube. Go watch it.
I'm starting to think that maybe this is something that Pinson just made up.
That's right. My artistic skills
Yes.
on display in front of you. But yes, yeah. So that would be, yeah. This is my favorite. But again, Young Frankenstein would probably be my alternate or honorable mention if I had to pick one, because again, both were funny, both were amusing, both were Halloween, scary, spooky themed.
Yeah.
But again, this movie was just a great little thing to watch back in the day. And again, it was just a lot of fun to watch these movies and laugh and look back and go, God, how times were simpler when you could go trick or treating with a not a box, but a bucket from McDonald's. Okay, that's a throwback for you.
Wow. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Man, times. Good times.
Good times.
When we were kids.
They were the best of times. They were the worst of times. But golly, they were simple.
So would you say that? I mean, where can we see this?
YouTube.
YouTube for sure.
Yeah, just go. Yeah, for sure. Like I mean,
right. I
okay.
mean-
So it used to be only. So the person who used to post it only posted it during October, but now it's up pretty much year round. So yeah. So if you get a chance, go to YouTube.com and just type in "The Witch Who Turned Pink." It's 30 minutes long. Again, it's a cute little show. It's fun.
Sure. All right. Well, I guess give The Witch Who Turned Pink a watch. And if you haven't seen Beetlejuice, you should definitely give that a watch as well. I think that should do it for this episode. How's that pizza? Yeah. All right. Well, for a mouthful of Chris Pinson there of pizza, and for
Tony
me,
Wynn.
thank you so much. And this has been the I was about to say the other show. Oops. This has been Cinema Slice. Thank you so much. We'll see you guys next week.